Stop. Now listen to this. Do you ever feel like life is just passing you by, like you're either stuck in the past or worrying about the future? Well, what if I told you that true happiness, peace, and clarity come from one simple shift, which is being in the present now? In this video, I'll show you exactly how to do it step by step. First, I'm going to talk about how being in the present moment is all we actually have. So when you think about the past, when you're remembering memories or going over something that's already happened before in your head, you're not actually living in reality. It's something that's in your head. It's not something that's real. And the same thing with the future. When you're thinking ahead, planning, or waiting for something to happen in the future, it's a projection in your mind. It's something that may or may not actually happen, and it's not real. The only thing that's real is this present moment. You don't have anything else. The only thing that actually exists is this moment right now. The past is gone. The future is not here yet. The present is here. The past and the future are in your head. The present is your current experience. So even when you think back to a good memory that you have from the past, were you thinking about the present or the past when you were in that moment? Probably not. If you say are remembering a really good moment in your life, when you were in that moment, you were so present. That moment was good because you were experiencing it as it was and having gratitude and loving the moment in the moment. So this is the only way that you can live life and actually experience life. And when you realize this and start putting it into practice, everything is going to change for you, I promise. So if you're constantly thinking about the past or the future, you're constantly living in stress or anxiety or regret, and you're not actually experiencing life properly. And yes, you might think of like good memories from the past or you might get excited about something happening in the future and goal setting and planning. It's okay to do these things sometimes and maybe look back on photos and memories of the past and look into the future in a positive light. That's okay, but it's really important to be self-aware when you're doing this and notice what you're doing and do it consciously because you're deciding to do it if that makes you feel good in the moment. And then once you've done that thing and you're finished with it, come back to the present moment because looking behind you and in front of you are not real. So yes, it's okay to do it sometimes, but do it consciously because you're basically not living if you're not in the present. So the next step is being aware when we're losing touch of the present. So again, when you're overthinking or worrying or replaying old stories in your head, you're not creating a positive experience for yourself. It's an unhealthy cycle and it's not necessary. We do this when we sleep. This is what sleep is for processing those things that your brain needs to process. You don't have to be doing it all throughout the day. You're already doing it all night. So leave that to your subconscious mind to deal with when you're asleep and let your conscious mind be intentional and actually conscious and in the moment. A lot of us are living on autopilot and not actually experiencing life. We're just going through the motions and going through the same repetitive patterns every day. Did you know that 90% of the thoughts that you think of every single day are the same as what you were thinking yesterday? So this means that so much of the majority of our thoughts are repetitive, but not if you're present. And that's why it's so good that you're watching this video, because you can change that and learn how to actually enjoy life and live life. When I was younger, I looked up the meaning of life in the dictionary, and literally what it says is the meaning of life is to live. And what does that mean to you? Are you living if you're constantly thinking about the past or future? Are you actually living if you're not experiencing what's happening? So yeah, the best way to change these repetitive thoughts that are the same as the day before are to notice them, be in the present moment, observe them, and then change them to how you want to be thinking. So social media and other distractions like TV and that kind of thing are really easy ways to pull us away from the present moment. It's a distraction. It's not actually you experiencing your life. So yeah, it's technically in the present moment if you're focusing on something. So like if you're watching a movie and following a story, like technically you're in the moment, but it's still fictional. It's not something that you're experiencing. You're kind of experiencing this through someone else's eyes. It's watching other people's experiences, really. So what we want to be doing is having our own experiences. So go outside or go and pat your pet or talk to someone that one of your friends or your loved ones. Do a hobby or do something physical with your hands that actually brings you into the present moment. So a good way to know if it's something that's going to bring you into the moment is if you think that this is going to be a good memory that you might reflect on at the end of your life when you're on your deathbed. If that's something that you're going to remember and appreciate, then that's something that is going to bring you into the present moment. No one gets to 100 years old and reflects back on the social media video that they watched or the content that they're seeing on social media. People are reflecting on those positive experiences they actually had in their life. So we want to maximize these experiences. So now I'm going to talk about some simple techniques that you can use to bring yourself into the present moment. So the first one is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, which is gauging your senses and bringing yourself into the moment, obviously. So what can you see? What can you hear? What can you smell? What are you touching? Can you feel it on your body, the chair you're sitting on? What can you taste? Is that all of the ones? All the 5 senses. There's a fly in here. All of the 5 senses. Engage your 5 senses and bring yourself back into the moment. It's a really good way of grounding yourself, especially when you're feeling really emotional. It's a really easy way to bring yourself back into the now. The next one is micro mindfulness. So finding tiny little moments throughout your day to come back into the moment. So you can do this by setting an alarm for maybe even just 3 times a day or something, and consciously make the decision, this is when I'm going to bring myself back into the moment and practice mindfulness and presence. There's also breath awareness, which so many people talk about all through history, meditation, monks, even in psychology. So when you notice your breath, close your eyes, feel yourself breathing in and out. A good way of doing this is breathing in for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, breathing out for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, and repeat. Your breath is something that's always there, so it's something that you can always come back to. There's also mindful movement, so walking, stretching, feeling your body and the way that you move, or even just something like doing the dishes or cooking, and being aware and mindful of what your body is doing, how you're moving, and experiencing what your body can do, really. This is a good one that you can do if you have a physical job. You'll notice it's really nice to get into the flow and move your body. Experience the flow of movement and what you're capable of. And another really good technique is to practice gratitude when you're in the present moment. So notice something that is amazing, how good your coffee is in the morning, or if you see the sunset, to just come into the moment and appreciate that and feel how good it feels. If something makes you feel good, focus on that and expand it. What is good about what is happening right here and now? So now I'm going to talk about the life-changing benefits of being in the present moment. So the first one is that you'll literally have less stress and more peace. You will feel like you're in love again for the first time. I remember when I first read the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, I started practicing living in the moment all the time, and I went to work and I worked at a supermarket, and someone at work said to me, "You're so happy. How are you so happy? You must be in love." And I said, "I'm in love with life." Because that's how it feels. You actually feel so excited and happy because you're experiencing life. It's literally like the secret to life. You'll also be better in your relationships because you'll be a better listener. You'll be more in the moment and more present with them, which means you'll be more self-aware of how you are in social situations, and you'll be more other aware of what's going on in social situations. So you'll have better relationships and you'll just enjoy your relationships more. And that leads me to my next point, which is that you actually become more self-aware and more observant of the world, which means you actually get smarter because you're more observant and you're noticing things more, which means you're learning more, which means you're becoming more intelligent. To be aware is to be smart. Another benefit is that you have a deeper sense of meaning in the everyday moments because you're noticing and you're not just letting things go by. For example, if we go back to the sunset example, if you're driving home from work and you see a beautiful sunset, if you're thinking in the past or in the future, you might not even really notice the sunset. You might go, "Oh, yeah," and then go back to those repetitive cycle of thoughts in your head, whatever you usually think about when you're driving home from work. Or when you see the sunset, you could go, "Oh, it's so beautiful. I need to keep my eyes on the road, but I'm just appreciating this moment so much. How lucky am I that the sun is setting when I can see it when I'm driving home from work right now? How beautiful is that I get to experience this?" And then when you do reflect on your day, you notice, "Oh, that sunset was like the best part of my day. It was so beautiful," because you're noticing and you're putting meaning on it in the moment. Like I said, if there's one key thing to living life, it's being in the moment. So your challenge, the 24-hour presence experiment. I want you to spend a whole day practicing presence and leave some comments of your experience. So you don't have to wait. You can start doing this right now. Once you finish watching this video, get up, go and do something, even if it's something really simple like doing the dishes or patting your dog or just going outside for a minute. Do something that's going to bring you into the present moment and experience the now. And tomorrow, I want you to do this for the full day. You will slip up because it's a habit to go back to thinking about the past or the future, but that's okay. Just forgive yourself, acknowledge that you've done well for noticing that you slipped up, and then bring yourself back to the present moment. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I love you. Be in the moment and stay happy.